We often hear that masturbation is a completely normal activity, but at what point does it become a problem? How many times a day can you engage in it without being considered addicted? And what happens if you can't control yourself? These are critical questions we'll explore together today. Why should you consider giving up this habit, even though it seems harmless? Behind its normality lies hidden risks. First, let me apologize if this approach seems bold, but my goal is to help you recognize one of the major challenges of our time. This habit not only weakens your willpower, but also harms both younger and older generations, robbing them of the opportunity to live stronger and more confident lives. In this video, we'll delve into how masturbation impacts the brain from both scientific and philosophical perspectives. We'll also uncover valuable lessons from Stoicism to help you overcome this habit. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications to stay updated with more helpful content. Let's start now by revisiting perspectives on masturbation. Today, many people consider it a completely normal behavior, not just in humans but also in animals, including dogs and other mammals. However, this view hasn't always been accepted throughout history. In the past, masturbation was often deemed immoral, particularly for men, as it was believed to waste seed and negatively impact reproductive ability. For women, masturbation was seen as a reason for distancing themselves from men, as they could find pleasure without assistance from a partner. Beyond these moral concerns, masturbation was also thought to cause illness, making it something to be avoided entirely. But that's a thing of the past. Returning to the present, what do we now know about masturbation? Some studies suggest that this activity, especially in men, can help reduce stress and improve sleep, particularly for those suffering from insomnia. According to the French Institute for Health and Medical Research, when men reach orgasm, the cerebral cortex, the part of the brain responsible for conscious thought, temporarily shuts down, allowing for relaxation and easier sleep. This is why many people tend to fall asleep right after sexual activity or masturbation. However, it's not all benefits. Hidden beneath lies a dangerous trap. Masturbation triggers the release of dopamine, a hormone that creates feelings of pleasure, eases stress, and provides a sense of reward. While dopamine offers temporary relief, it can also lead to addiction for some individuals. As the body becomes accustomed to receiving dopamine through this activity, they may lose control and become dependent on it as the sole source of satisfaction. This can result in serious mental and physical consequences. If you regularly follow the content on this channel, you'll gain a deeper understanding of the hidden impacts of this behavior and learn how to maintain balance in life. According to the Diagnostic and Statistical Manual of Mental Disorders, DSM, hypersexual disorder is classified as a compulsive behavior that can cause severe mental and familial harm. Those trapped in this cycle often lose control over themselves, becoming slaves to their desires and victims of their lack of self-discipline. As a result, they may seek unhealthy sexual relationships, such as with prostitutes, or engage in promiscuous sexual activities. Even more concerning, many of these individuals are drawn to excessive consumption of pornographic content, a method by which the brain becomes saturated with dopamine to achieve pleasure. Masturbation addiction is not merely a repetitive behavior. It is deeply tied to the chemical processes in the brain. Over time, the brain adapts to frequent dopamine release, creating an ongoing need to seek new stimuli to replicate the initial feelings of pleasure. The brain begins to demand larger amounts of dopamine to achieve the same level of satisfaction as before, driving individuals to masturbate more frequently. This leads to an extreme point where even the act itself no longer brings satisfaction. At this stage, the brain responds by blocking dopamine receptors to prevent overload. As a result, the individual becomes trapped, performing the act without deriving pleasure. leading to mounting frustration and dissatisfaction. This phenomenon is no different from other forms of addiction, like an alcoholic drinking to the point of losing control or a sugar addict eating chocolate until they feel sick. When a behavior crosses the line of control, it not only harms physical health, but also erodes one's willpower and mental resilience. So how does Stoic philosophy view this issue? As masters of self-discipline and wisdom, Stoics, from Pano to Rhodes to Epicurus, have explored the depths of pleasure and desire from a unique perspective. To them, desires and passions are not merely fleeting physical satisfactions, but opportunities to understand the limits of the body and mind. For Stoics, behaviors like masturbation are not just habits, but can become lessons in self-awareness, helping us control ourselves and achieve true freedom. Epicurus, one of the foundational figures of this philosophy, asserted that it is not the pursuit of pleasure, but self-mastery that brings lasting peace to the soul. Mastering base desires is a conquest of the spirit, elevating awareness and strengthening willpower. It is this self-discipline, not indulgence in temporary pleasures, that unlocks the door to genuine freedom and happiness. Stoic philosophy teaches that self-control is not about denying pleasure, but about setting boundaries for it. This is the path to living a strong, meaningful life, freeing oneself from the enslavement of unchecked desires. What distinguishes a good man in this context is his ability to enjoy pleasures with mindfulness and control, as emphasized by the philosopher Seneca through his philosophical insights. For the Stoics, discussing masturbation is not simply about suppression, but about deep understanding and mastery of oneself. It is not the rejection of physical pleasure, but the redirection of emotions toward a journey of self-discovery, fostering greater mental and spiritual growth. Every action we take, no matter how small, leaves consequences not only for ourselves, but also for the natural order of the universe. When we allow ourselves to be consumed by intense desires and lose control, such as in the case of excessive masturbation, we sever the harmonious connection with nature, a value deeply cherished by the Stoics. Instead of achieving inner balance, we become prisoners of these desires, leading to anxiety and a loss of true serenity. Compulsive masturbation not only inflicts physical harm, but also creates a whirlwind of negative emotions, where guilt, shame, and dissatisfaction become constant companions. Stoic philosophy encourages individuals to learn how to manage intense emotions through self-awareness and self-regulation. Rather than avoiding or being controlled by emotions, Stoics consciously confront them, recognizing them as an inherent part of life, and strive to handle them in a healthy and constructive manner. They emphasize that true inner peace does not come from the immediate gratification of desires, but from the ability to master oneself and find joy in simplicity and morality. A real-life example vividly illustrates this philosophy. A person once trapped in the cycle of masturbation addiction. Initially, they sought comfort and temporary pleasure through this behavior, but it eventually led to emotional turmoil, plagued by feelings of guilt and dissatisfaction. Instead of allowing themselves to spiral further, this individual chose to confront the issue by applying lessons from Stoic philosophy. Through practicing self-discipline and self-regulation, they gradually broke free from the negative cycle, achieved inner peace, and experienced a profound positive transformation. This story serves as a testament to the transformative power of self-control and mindful living as taught by Stoicism. By choosing to face their challenges head-on rather than succumbing to them, the individual regained clarity and balance in their life. This process highlights a core tenet of Stoic philosophy, that true freedom and happiness lie in mastering one's desires and emotions rather than being ruled by them. Through deliberate effort and introspection, the person not only overcame their addiction, but also cultivated a stronger sense of purpose and self-worth. Their journey illustrates how Stoic principles can guide us to confront even the most challenging aspects of our lives, helping us grow stronger and more resilient in the process. Ultimately, Stoicism teaches that personal growth and lasting peace come from within, through self-awareness, discipline, and the pursuit of virtuous living. By embracing these values, anyone can rise above life's obstacles and find a path to true fulfillment.